Believe it or not, I'm a shy person. It doesn't look like it from this aspect or this view of yours in front of the camera. I've done over 500 videos and I've done over 200 podcasts already. And people get shocked or laugh when I say that I'm an introvert or I'm a shy person. I'm what they call a selective extrovert, meaning I'm only talkative when I talk about things that I know of. If I'm asked to talk in front of a crowd and it's not something I know or I'm good at, I'm very shy. Like you would not see me talk impromptu about something that I don't know about. So just like in a gathering, I was asked to like talk about something when I didn't know anything, and I said, no, 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 not me. Oh my God, I'm so shy. It's like causing me a lot of anxiety. But in this episode, I'm gonna share with you because I was shy as a kid until college, grade school, high school, college, and even when I was working, like I would be scared to really talk in front of a crowd or just a few people, regardless if I knew about the topic or not. But for the most part of my life, I would say 3/4 of my life, I was a very shy person. Because of business and what I do, I have to talk a lot in front of people. And there was one event that made me more comfortable in talking, but it's a series of things, combination of things that I believe that we have to have as mindset so that you won't be shy and how to be more confident. So stick with me until the end because in just a few minutes, I'm going to share with you probably around 7 to 9 tips that I can share to you so that you can be more confident when you go out in the real world. You ready? Let's do this. Number one tip I want to share with you is that you have to remember this. Everyone is human, okay? How can I explain this? So remember that the people you think that are cool or you define as cool are actually no different than you. They're all the same. We're all the same, right? Everyone has their own problems. Everyone has their own insecurities. And everyone has their own doubts or self-doubts. We all have that. So stop thinking that other people are better than you just because they're popular or they've done a lot of videos like the ones you see here right now. You think that people like me don't have problems or I'm confident or I don't have insecurities and I don't doubt myself? Trust me, man, I have so much insecurities in my life. And that's okay. So everyone is human. Don't forget that. Second tip is that you want to give yourself as much credit as possible. A lot of people discredit themselves and what they do because they think it's routinary what they do. So stop being so hard on yourself. Remember that all the good things that you have done for yourself and for other people, you shouldn't do that, like not notice it. All right. Remember how far you have gone from the past 5 years. Just look 5 years ago, who you are before and who you are now. If you're trying to improve yourself, look how far you've gone. Just look at yourself 6 months past. If you're working on yourself and on being a more fit person, for example, look how far you've gone and don't discredit yourself. You're doing great. So just remind yourself more about that more often than not because other people won't do it for you because they're also thinking about themselves more than you. All right. So that's number 2. Give yourself more credit. Moving on to the third tip to avoid being shy is that you want to put yourself in more uncomfortable situations. Go with the easy ones first. All right. I know uncomfortable situations are there and we try to, sidestep from it. Like there's a public gathering and you're required to talk or, mingle or network, but you want to avoid those, right? But actually you want to this is where you can actually overcome your fear of being, shy, overcoming the fear of like being shy around people, right? So join a club, go to events as much as possible and put yourself out there. All right. These are very uncomfortable situations. You might see me on my other social media accounts, especially on my Instagram, that I go to a lot of events. There was this event recently, like I was in BGC for an event, and you would think I would be a social butterfly, but in fact, I only approach those people that I've known or met before. It's rare that I would approach someone that I haven't met for no reason at all. So if you see me looking like, I'm a social butterfly, it's because I've talked to that person before already. But ask them more questions. If you don't like being asked a question, ask the questions first and then ask them more so that people talk about it and then see where you can have the conversation going on. So ask them more about their interests and stuff, or never ask people like, oh, what are you doing here? Of course, we're all here at an event. It's funny when someone asks you when you're in the club and asks, oh, what are you doing here? Oh, obviously I'm here in the club, right? Or I'm at the event just the same as you, right? Anyway, these uncomfortable situations will soon become your comfort zones or become more comfortable for you, and then you will become a more confident person. It just relates to that. It's not instant. That's gonna happen. So you have to start with small steps. Start with a small gathering, a bigger one, and a bigger one until you're okay to going to events, so that anxiety goes away. Trust me, it doesn't really go away, but the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. So the anxiety goes a lot less. So that's number 3. Moving on to tip number 4, which is, I know this is gonna be a lot more difficult, but get in shape and dress well. It's kind of obvious, right? The easiest way to become confident is to look good, right? So if you don't like your appearance, then you will shy away in social settings. Most definitely. If you don't like the way you appear or what clothes you're wearing, if it's not making you uncomfortable. If you like your appearance, you will be proud and confident in public settings. It's just the way it is. So if you don't like what you see in front of the mirror, do something about it. I mean, no one will make you fit, right? So it's all up to you. If you're a person that's not confident in your clothes, you might as well go to a friend that you think is fashionable and ask them for tips when it comes to form-fitting clothes or clothes that flatter you, right? That make you feel good about yourself, right? Some clothes for other people fit well, and then if you wear them, you're not comfortable with it, don't do it because it subtracts from your confidence. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comment section. Moving on to the 5th tip to avoid being shy is that allow yourself to make mistakes. I'm not saying make mistakes intentionally, but allow yourself to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. And as cheesy as it may sound, Rome was not built in a day. Remember that saying, right? You're allowed to make mistakes, all right? No one said that you can't make mistakes, right? So this is how we learn, and this is how we've grown as humans throughout the entire history. The mistakes are the reasons why we are here nowadays. The mistakes of our ancestors are now things that we correct nowadays. So the mistakes that we have now are things that the future generations will try to correct as well. So don't discredit that. It's okay to make mistakes. Moving on to 6th point, which is do less planning and taking more action. I'm a big fan of the saying, ready, go, re-aim. I'm not saying ready, set, go, because a lot of people get stuck to ready, get set, and they never go, right? So I have a mentality of ready, go, I misfire, I re-aim, and then go again. Too much planning can lead to overthinking and so much anxiety, right? Take action instead, right? So also, the more times you will do something, the more confident that you will actually get, right? The small steps that you take every day, like I wasn't this confident in front of the camera or with this microphone, but then over time you get more confident as you go about it. It's just repetition. Practice makes not perfect, but better, right? If you keep on repeating the same thing over and over again, you get better and better at it. It just makes sense. Like even in sports. That's why I adore the best in the game when it comes to any sports, because they're in the top of their game when they do something that looks like perfection to us. But in fact, there's a lot of work that goes behind that. So again, less planning, more action. Moving on to the 7th point that I want to make is that you want to believe in yourself is the most important thing. You don't need other people to believe in you. All you need is that self-confidence that you believe in yourself and what you're actually doing. Even if you don't believe in yourself, you can trick your brain into believing, right? Believe, like before bed every night, say to yourself in front of a mirror, I am a confident person, at least 10 times. And say it with conviction. I am a confident person. I am a confident person over and over again. And look straight into your eye and say that to yourself, right? You're tricking yourself that you are a confident person. And eventually, you will become one. It's going to be programmed into your subconsciousness, and you will trick yourself into becoming more confident, right? If you say it doesn't work, then you need to believe in yourself even more, right? So don't tell me that it doesn't work just because you haven't even tried it yet, or you've tried, so you have to try harder, right? It starts here. It always starts here, right? If you think you can, therefore you will. Makes sense, right? And lastly, one of the most important things to overcome being shy and be more confident is to just take risks. Take more risks as much as possible. Take small risks into a bigger one and a bigger one until you're very confident to take that risk, because you've had experience, you've failed a lot based on those risks that you've taken before. That makes you more confident, right? Before, I was really afraid to make mistakes because I never really took risks. The first time I moved from being an employee to becoming a business person or having my own business, I had so much doubt, not just to myself, but the people around me. Well, in fact, I should just do it and then just focus on the things that I'm doing and then moving forward from it, right? I know it's really scary. It's a daunting task, and but you need to take risk, right? You need to take those small risks from time to time, and it becomes bigger and bigger as you go on. If your dream really looks scary and very risky, break it down into smaller parts. The smaller it is, the better, right? When you see a big task ahead of you, like, oh wow, it's unsurmountable, like a huge task. Of course, you see it as big, but then if you take the small steps in front of you, doing it day by day, then it becomes smaller and smaller. You're chopping it down to the smaller parts. Then it won't be more intimidating to pursue, right? So if your dream is to become, a YouTuber, and you can't like use your phone and go like this and talk in front of a camera, then start recording by yourself at home. It doesn't mean whatever you're recording, it needs to come out of your camera straight to the public, right? But at least you're taking steps, the small steps, like recording yourself upon waking up and saying, hey, good morning, and talking for about 15 seconds. That's how it starts. Believe me, a lot of people have their first vlogs done very horribly, and then but comparing it to their 100th vlog, it's so far away from that. So don't be afraid to take risks, the small ones first, until you move on to the bigger one, because that's how you become more confident at what you do. That's all I have for you today. If you think you found value in today's episode, make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and comment on the comment section down below. And of course, I'll see you again in the next episode. Peace out.